Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Rahul Bhatia, representing IEEE UK section. Today, we have this presentation to focus on intelligent finance delivery, aligning people, projects, and platforms. In today's session, we will focus on the intelligent finance delivery, where aligning people, projects, and platform matters the most. I have three industry experts today joining me in today's session, where I have the pleasure of inviting them and sharing their expertise. So today we'll have the expertise from the three speakers, and now I will ask the speakers to introduce themselves. So Gaurav, over to you.
Thank you, Rahul. Thanks for giving this opportunity. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining this session from the globe. I'm Gaurav Sharma. I have 20 years of experience in software engineering, data reconciliation, data integrity. Last 15 years, I have been delivering solutions with AI powered on data integrity solutions and in fintech, ERP, and supply chain management systems. I'm excited here to talk about intelligent finance delivery. Thank you.
Welcome, Gaurav. Thank you for the introduction. Hemant, over to you.
Hey everybody, as Gaurav and mentioned about his introduction, so hi everybody to you. I'm an accomplished technology and product leader, and I'm recognized expert in digital transformation and platform innovation across telecom media and technology. I have a close to about over 2 decades of experience across firms like Capgemini, Evaluserve, and Vodafone. I've consistently demonstrated exceptional technological and strategic capabilities in delivering transformative solutions. My expertise lies in architecting AI-powered products and platform. Again, that many of those have revolutionized this customer experience and improved operational efficiencies. Thank you.
Thank you, Hemant.
Back to you.
Pavitra, over to you.
Hey, thank you for having me here. I appreciate this opportunity to talk with all of you. My name is Pavitra. I have been in the industry for over 24 years. I have worked for professional services for almost 15 years. I worked for data product development startup for almost 6 years, and right now I'm working in a finance company in a bank in US with my expertise in global project delivery in the agile space, and appreciate the opportunity and looking forward to the conversation today.
Thank you, Pavitra. Very welcome. Okay, so now we will go through speaker one's agenda, and that's Gaurav. I'll go to the next slide.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rahul. I see the second slide. So we're just going to start. Yeah, thank you very much from here. So intelligent finance delivery. As we all know, the agenda of this session, we're going to talk about aligning people, project, and platform. How intelligent finance delivery doesn't mean you have to talk about finance and AI, but also it's regarding people, platform, and projects. Next slide, please. So we have three keys for the intelligent finance delivery, right? Starting from the left, right people, right project, and right platform. Now, if you see in the right people, we need to have skill, we need to have talent mapped with your finance expectations, whatever the product or project you are delivering, right? Making it intelligence, we're going to talk further in details. AI is one part, we all know that. But from my last 20 years of experience, I can tell you more than technology, it's people. So those are very key factors. Then we have right projects, which is process, agile methodology, all that stuff. I'm gonna leave it to my another expert in the panel here, Hemant and Pavitra, to talk about that. I will talk more on right platform that's more close to my niche, where AI automation and data integrity comes into the picture. So today I'm gonna focus more on the people and the data integrity. Next slide, please.
Yeah.
Okay, as I mentioned, let's talk about the right people at right time. So I learned this phrase, and I've been using this from last 8 years when I figured it out that projects are getting failed not because of technology, not because of lack of AI, but because of the right people at right time. There are hiring teams. There are so many LinkedIn portals and all that social platforms to get the talent. But what makes sense to deliver a finance delivery as an intelligence is the motivated talent. So for example, you can hire a person, but if he or she, they are not motivated towards the intelligent finance delivery, it's not going to be the success. So you need motivated talent. You need a financial skill set. Of course, I cannot work with the skill set of the team, which is having a manufacturing skill set or cloud skill set. We need to have a niche of financial skill set. It can be either. In just take my example, right? I'll give you my example. I have spent 13 years in fintech product, right? Delivering those. After that, I got a chance to work and deliver ERP finance, supply chain management, right? And we have finance reports in full ERP one. So finance can be in any sector. So you need the skill set. Then timely hiring, of course, we all know that. Siloed talent, it slows project, guys. So when you have siloed talents, like product needs different requirements, then the requirement go to hiring team. That's became a totally different when it is transforming from your project manager, hiring manager, client, and by the time it's going to the hiring team, it changes its face. So that's the silo talent. We need to be collaborative together. What's required for the project? What is there uh, in the hiring team? Now, for trusted talent, of course, we have so many resumes. When I see a requirement there in the market. I see piles of resumes coming. It's very difficult to find one, two, or three, or it's difficult more than to get a matched, trusted one and not mocked up. Next slide, please. So to solve this problem, when I figured it out, my projects were going there. It was a industry-wide challenge. I figured it out, let's do something with AI capabilities since I've been working with AI models and solutions, AI-powered solutions from last 6 years. And then I did a research. This is my research paper as well on this solution. So the one solution I invented here and given to the community as my give back is talentlens.ai. One more, next, please. So you will see here for the right people, it's talentlens.ai. It's an AI powered resume screening. This is AI powered agent. It's live on Hugging Face. I have put it on Hugging Face for giving back to community. Published the paper for this. What does it do? Let's talk about that. Next slide, please. Okay, so key feature of talent lens strategy. Why? This agent is required for right people, right hiring, and how it is aligning with your intelligent finance delivery. So the first one is context-aware screening. Talentlens.ai is not just only the keyword searching agent or software, right? Though it's an AI agent. So it is using the context-aware. What does context-aware means? It's not a keyword searching. It's about knowing what the context of the resume and what's the context of your job requirement. What is required, right? Both things has to be matched. So if, for an example, my team, I need a finance person for ERP end-to-end solution, like for fintech, and then I need to know the stories, not only for mentioning ERP worked on this fintech project. That doesn't give me an insight or trusted resume or candidate for my intelligent finance delivery. Now, context aware takes care of, well, fake is a hard word, but I would say sometime I have seen it's overstated resumes out there. So talentlens.ai take care of that. After analyzing the resumes, the stories, the context, there are models behind that. Am I still there?
Yeah.
Okay. There are models behind that, LLM models, which actually take care and score each and every resume. So you can have a scoring of each resume based on how trusted they are, how real they are. And again, another features, those are generic. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. It's, it's bias mitigation. So gender wise, skill set wise, age wise, it take care of that. It's fast and scalable. You just have to put bunch of resumes into that, give a beautiful prompt, and it will give you that, the scoring and all stuff. We'll see that in next slide. Next slide, Rahul. Okay, this what goes in the talent lens.ai. You put bunch of resumes into that. It's just like a chat bot. I'll show you the picture of how it looks like as well in the next slides. But let's understand what is the architecture of talent.ai. You put bunch of resumes, then you put a beautiful prompt like a job description. I want a finance motivated guy for these reports or ERP or banking reconciliation, whatever, right? And then you put into that, click the button, it go back and analyze all the resumes at once. Take the resumes which are not matching with your job description, it rejects those. And that's what I wanted to take a minute here, guys. In my industry, I'm on the technical panel for my business unit. I've been getting 10 resumes. My client want team to be ready in next 1 week or 2 weeks. That's how the business works nowadays, right? It's faster. That's how it's intelligent. Now, when I got 10 resumes, so understand when it's coming to me, it's already passed HR round, first round, and then coming to the technical round, right? And when I see those, even out of 10, guess what? I see 8 are not relevant. That is the problem. So everyone put their effort, which is not now fruitful. HR hiring team done their job. First of all, they figured it out, and then first round and second round, and then eventually they are not trusted one. So to avoid all that 60% of time, so that you can deliver the candidate on right time for the right with the right talent. So this is gonna do all at once. So you can save all 60% of time up there. So once you get AI screening done, you're gonna get the scoring. Okay, this is 8 at par, this is 7, and that is gonna rank like that. And then it gives you more additional to that. It gives you a candidate summary, and also it gives you an interview question for the first preliminary round. How that helps? Why? And all this is happening because the AI LLM models, BART, we have used Gemini, Claude behind the curtains. Every model has its own capability to work on, right? So candidate summary, we have used one. For scoring, we have used one. And for interview questions, we have used another one. Now, interview questions for the preliminary round, how it helps. Our HR teams, they are sometimes not aware about the niche technology you are looking for. HR cannot be a master from manufacturing to embedded software to ERP to for banking reconciliation. No, they are HR. They are good. They're good in their field. But they cannot ask the preliminary question regarding embedded software company, right? Where they need to have some basic knowledge to filter out for the circuits, right? And this ALLM model knows everything. So we know AI models are intelligent. They know embedded software system. They know quality assurance. They know the insurance. So they suggest you the first layer of interview questions, which is actually going to surpass the first layer for selecting your candidate. So now, by the time you've done this, next slide please, Rahul. Let's show how it looks like. Okay, here is the real picture of talentlens.ai. Please feel free if you wanted to try on that. It's on Hugging Face, open source for the community. Very simple UI, and you just, as I mentioned, you can just drop down your resumes and your prompt. You will get it, and it gives you the downloadable report as well. So think about 20 resumes are there. I just put it there and I get report, I get scoring. I don't have to worry about whether they are matching my job description, and I get a first preliminary question to be asked. Okay, next one. Okay, why talentlens.ai? I mostly covered that. These are just a text heavy slide. It saved a lot of time, 80% reduced operational cost. I think we covered in that. Next slide, please.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, I'm going to move on to my second key, which is right platform. So remember, I'm just trying to connect the dots. We covered right people. Now the right platform. Inside right platform, it comes AI, automation, data, and I'm going to stress on data because that's my niche and that's how I am helping in delivering the projects. So I can talk much better where I'm working from last 15 or 20 years. Now, for finance deliveries, as I mentioned, guys, I have been working solutions for the major US banks, right? I don't want to name here, and supply chain management, ERP systems, where we are taking care of the finance reporting as well, right? We figured it out if data is not reconciled well, data is not integrated done, everything is gonna go in south direction. It's not gonna work. Intelligent finance delivery can only happen with intelligent data. And intelligent data starts from the scratch, right? For example, so it's a fuel of finance. So let me put the bullet points, take the bullet point from the slide. So no data, no transformation. People are talking, and I've spoken about some of the sessions as well. Is your organization data ready? You can go and find this on my YouTube or somewhere else. Um, so if your data is not ready, you cannot transform to an intelligent software, intelligent finance delivery. Organizations have to have a data. Now, only data? No, trusted data. So better trusted data, better the decisions, better the reports, right? Platforms, AI and analytics needs clean data. You put junk, your AI reports, your Power BI, your whatever model you put, it's gonna give you junk. So junk produce junk. You need trusted, cleaned, and validated data. Okay, how to do that? Next slide, please. That's a problem we just talked about. Now, why data integrity is required? We're gonna start from bottom, right? So it has platform intelligence, enables intelligent outcome through clean data. As I mentioned, clean data, clean output, better results, better reports. We go up, second stage, people alignment. So it facilitates teams collaboration with single truth. So if data is correct and that correct data is transferring or traveling, from your master data to the different teams. I'm just taking example, order to cash, finance, supply chain management, and until going to the time of to the finance team for the reports. So if the data is aligned, people are aligned, you're gonna get a very beautiful report. Then foundation of trust, trusted data, trusted reports, and trusted delivery of finance. Project success, as I mentioned, I'm sure Pavitra will talk more on that, but it is going to be a key. And then regulatory compliance. We all know that I've been into the FCRM project, which is financial crime risk management products. If your data is not correct, you are going to be in trouble for your regulatory compliance, right? People are going to ask regulatory organizations or states are going to come back and say, your data is not showing what you're doing. Next slide, please. So that's how, why we need data integrity. Here is the solution, proposed solution I give to the community. How you can take care of this. So far, we talked about problems. Now, let's talk about solution, right? As you just have a look at this diagram, okay? Data reconciliation challenges. Data come from multiple sources, guys. Banking, fact files, third parties, transactions from all ATM, checks, everywhere you get the data. If it is international business, you get data in a different format. Think about that. So much of data cannot be reconciled because they are in different world. They are coming from a different world, right? So data reconciliation is the challenge. Now you need a requirement gathering. Okay, data is there. What to do with that? Somebody has to sit and say, hey, this is our goal. So in this context, intelligent finance delivery is our goal. I want my all the data, my sales, my revenue, my tax, my promotion codes, right? All accurate data integrity from different system it's coming by. I want the trusted one. Then matching with my requirements. What is required? For an example, just a one use case. If someone wants to say, I wanted to know how much discount we have applied, and I wanted to see that's impacting or getting displayed in my all the finance records. all the reports, right? How much discount we have given. So you need to have a proper requirement. Moving on to next, how you can do this. We are using the AI powered solution nowadays. That's a technology. We are using Microsoft Copilot. It's a combination, it's a hybrid tool. You can use anything. This is basically a framework. So don't look at this from the lens of a tool. It's not a tool, it's a framework. Tool are multiple in the market, whichever you want, you can plug, play and plug. So for one, which I have developed as a DI ERP solution, we have used Microsoft Copilot. We have one of the tools there in data integrity, right? And then we reconcile all the data row by row, column by column. Okay, not even a single cell of the data is going without vetted, without reconciled. Then we are producing the user friendly reports, because no matter what technically you reconcile the data, the next challenge is coming. The business, they are good in business. They don't understand SQL queries. They don't understand you give them a big results after you have done a DBA, SQL procedures and all that stuff. Hey, this is done and this is the result. These are the tables. Out of 2 million, you're giving them 1 million data. Doesn't help them. So we need to provide an intelligent report of the data reconciliation to the business stakeholders. That's how the intelligent finance delivery is going to proceed further, right? So you need to have a Power BI reports, you need to have whatever tool you wanted to use, but give them a nice intelligent reports. Next slide, please, Raul. Okay, so with that, data integrity and people management here, right people, right at right time, I came up with this formula. So the formula which we are aligned for intelligent finance delivery is people, for which you can use, of course, talentness.ai or any other tool. And then for projects, we need to have a structured agile or process. And then platform, like we talked about, we need to have a data integrated done with any framework. If you are good, wanted to use this, feel free to use this framework. I have some of the text over on the internet as well. We'll put the links. And together, we're gonna deliver the intelligent finance success. That's it from my side. I think Rahul, we can move next. I think that's the last slide.
Thank you, Gaurav, for your insights. And I think you perfectly touch with the blend of, data, how your solution, Talent Lens AI, and how your frameworks are contributing to this. So perfectly blended. Thank you very much for the presentation. Now we go on to the next speaker, which is Hemant Soni. Hemant, over to you.
Thanks, Rahul, and absolutely rightly summarized by Gaurav in terms of how finance and data it's correlated and things are coming. So uh, let me give you a perspective from a different industry. So think from this perspective that how many of you have experienced delays in financial approvals that cost your organizations in terms of market opportunities. Uh, in this slide or this presentation, I would look forward to explore with you guys in terms of how intelligent finance delivery basically transform these challenges. Some of the key points I would like to touch base out there is like, especially in the traditional telecom finance operations, I would say they are misaligned somewhere, which impacts the go-to-market speed. I have proposed a platform that I've convinced. It's called DICE, which Bill brings in a paradigm shift in terms of reactive to predictive financial management. And I would also utilize this session in terms of demonstrating some proven methodologies that align people, projects, and platform for measurable business impacts. So let's begin by examining what are the different critical elements and how we define intelligent finance. Can you move on to the next slide, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. Uh, so while I will show you in terms of how intelligent finance delivery transforms these challenges into competitive advantages, first we need to understand what are the current telecom financial challenges that we are looking into. So what I've kind of categorized into three key areas. When we talk about people challenges, we have siloed financial teams which are operating in isolation, where you talk about marketing operations or you talk about technology operations. There are a lot of manual processes still dominating digital era. There is a skill gap in terms of digital financial capabilities as well that organizations are dealing with. When I talk about from a project perspective, there are several complex revenue streams that we are dealing with. And again, we need to understand that how we can track this nightmare out there. Then moving on to delayed financial reporting or missing business critical windows. That's another challenge that telcos run into, and that leads to overall, I would say, an inconsistent ROI tracking across different initiatives. Now, when we take people and projects and collaborate with platforms, we have legacy systems that can't support modern demands. There we have a lot of data fragmentation, which is fragmenting, I would say, unified insights, and there is a poor integration, I would say, across real time decision making. Again, all of these three are just not operational inconveniences. I would say there are strategic barriers to overall telecom transformation and impacting overall financial intelligence in the industry as well. Next slide, please. Okay. So what are the current telecom financial challenges that we talk about, but we need to understand how we define it. So what I've tried to put out here is a definition where I believe that strategic integration of AI, automation, data analytics, basically to transform financial operations, enabling real-time decision making and predictive insights across operational in the telecom industry, or especially with service providers. Now, I believe there are three key core capabilities that we need to look into. One is AI powered. We need to have machine learning algorithms to help those predictive analytics and automated decision making. Next is real time. Basically, the understanding is instant financial insight. So we need to have like real time understanding. Okay, how we can monitor the key metrics. And next is integrating these unified platforms. So connecting all financial processes and stakeholders across those. Next slide, please. So when we talk about the three key pillars of success, we are looking at first, obviously something which we talked about, that we need to have a skilled workforce. We have cross-functional collaboration. We need to look from a change management perspective. Then we also need to look into from a project pillar perspective, how we'll manage risk assessment, predictive budgeting, real-time ROI tracking. Let's say if we have launched a new campaign, we that impacts promotional budgets. How we'll look into that. Third, but and a critical element out there is platforms. We need to have cloud native architecture. We need to have an understanding in terms of how API first integration we need to look into. Can we integrate AI ML capabilities wherever we can have Gen AI or agentic AI integrated, and not I would say the critical element is in terms of real time analytics getting added out there. Next slide, please. Thank you. Now, let's talk about the key elements, something just now that we have put up the platform in terms of what are our challenges. We have put up a definition. Now, let's look into from an alignment perspective. The first strategic, I would say, is investment planning. Typically, traditional CAPEX, OPEX planning operates on annual cycles. Again, these are basically challenged with respect to whatever market conditions are. By combining these optimized capital allocations with AI-driven forecasting, organization can make smarter decisions, specifically when we talk about network expansions, spectrum acquisitions, or even 5G, and now we are talking about 6G deployments coming in the upcoming time as well. Next is AI agile innovation enablement. The second agile innovation enablement is coming up. Like think from emerging technologies like Gen AI, NTN, which is non-terrestrial networks, Open RAN. These all require dynamic funding models. The alignment of agile budgeting with talent allocation enables rapid resource deployment. And these deployments and opportunities will rise with the challenges as we grow. Next part is integrating platform efficiencies. As I mentioned, financial deliveries must be embedded with cloud native systems, not bolted or I would say patched later on. The intent is this ensures cross-functional collaboration between engineering products, operational teams, and unified financial visibility. That's what we are looking at. And the last element is governance and risk control. Now, real-time financial visibility combined with automated compliances, whether it is we are talking about transparent tracking of spend and ROI across multiple junctions, this will eliminate week-long quarterly reconciliation processes that have plagued traditional financial operations, especially in telecom, where billing compilation is critical. When we talk about from a customer data driven strategy, by linking customer lifetime value analytics with data driven decisions, these are critical, especially for telecom operators. And they can prioritize these investments across by either enhancing or utilizing the models that we will be talking about in upcoming slides, which will help enhance customer experience while also supporting strategic growth across or utilizing intelligent analytics. Now, the foundation out here, I would say, is that these five elements form the operational foundation for a platform that I've convinced, which is called DICE. Without these elements, even most sophisticated technologies will fail to deliver. So let's, on the next slide, we will examine in terms of what are the market forces driving these transformations. Now, think from a traditional process failures. Now, current financial deliveries or processes are, as we talked about, are broken. Whether we talk about disconnected capex, opex plannings, they marketing teams and business teams take week long in terms of understanding okay how their budgeting will look like. Financial decision cycles are stretching, I would say 90 plus days, and that impacts market opportunity, especially in a fast moving telecom market where competition is real out there. Additionally, there are visibility gaps. We have limited real-time visibility in terms of ROI. That means organization discovers investments, and they basically will have a visibility in terms of failures after implementation. Siloed budget allocation processes prevent even rapid resource redeployment when market conditions changes, especially we would have seen in the time of pandemic. Then we have modern complexities. Let's talk about traditional systems, which cannot handle complex modern telecom investments. We are talking about 5G network slicing or edge computing or even Gen AI integration out there. All of these require sophisticated financial models that not only support something which we talk about addressing visibility gaps, but also basically remove the static budgeting processes out there. Now, the impact out there is industry analysis has shown that there is about 5 to 15% revenue loss directly attributed to financial process inefficiencies. This is like across the telecom industry. And that's where I proposed and I worked upon my own concept and build up the DICE platform, which addresses these challenges through a lot of integrated intelligence. Next slide, please. Thank you. Now, the DICE platform is basically balancing on four intelligence engines. First is customer intelligence. Now, financial modeling is based upon customer behavior. And then we are also looking into the overall lifetime value and churn prediction, I would say close to about 95% accuracy out there. Next is competitive intelligence. We are looking into real-time marketing positioning, like what our competition is doing, and also looking into strategic investments with respect to pricing optimizations every quarter or months based upon to address the churn rate, or when we have to go to market, we need to look from a go to market pricing bundles to basically address our market and competitive intelligence. Thirdly, it's marketing signals. It's an AI-driven forecasting technology trends, which will help us also address regulatory challenges. For an example, FCC, in especially North America market, is very focused in terms of how we need to address rural markets from a telecom penetration perspective, or we need to also look into from an economic perspective that how we spread the telecom market out there. Last but not the least is augmented criterias analytics. Now we need to have a data-driven decision support. We cannot run Splunk logs once the promotions have been launched and then analyze that okay where we are falling. We need to understand and integrate all those financial metrics with real-time operational KPIs so that the systems can give us an option that hey, are your promotions running real time? Do we need to kill them? Do we have an opportunity to optimize? All these will not only help generate revenue but also reduce the overall cost. What I've seen is based upon the the metrics that I've run, that it's close to about 94-95% decision accuracy. The platform also does provide seamless integration across data sources. Like we can have this across the data factory, and then we can integrate different decisioning platforms, considering this platform is based upon a modular approach. Lastly, which is important in today's industry, is that it is scalable and it can be built across multiple challenges with multiple execution capabilities. Next slide, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is the platform model that I have convinced, and I've put it out there. It's free to use for telecom industry. To start with, what we are looking into integrating the four intelligence engines out there. Something which we talked about in the previous slide was customer intelligence, competitive intelligence, market signals, and augmented critical analytics out there. If you will clearly see in this slide out there, we are talking about a framework, how we can basically look into and demonstrate how different seamless integration across layers happen. The intent is how, like giving you an example, is that let's say if you have launching a campaign in current state, we have total, the campaigns are built upon total addressable market. Then we will have a serviceable opportunity market out there, TAM, SOM, and then the campaigns will be launched. However, what we lack today is intelligence in terms of decisioning, in terms of that, okay, how is my campaign doing? Do I need to kill that campaign? Do I have an opportunity to optimize that campaign? Do I have an opportunity out here to launch regional campaigns to capture or retain my market if my competition is coming up? How I can improve my overall go to market? Those are the opportunities that this platform provides, that I've created, and can be utilized by different service providers to optimize their overall campaign and improve their financial visibility out there. Next slide, please. Thank you. Now, moving on to this, when we talk about aligning people with financial success, we need to look into cross-functional integration. We're talking about intelligent finance delivery, which requires unprecedented collaboration, I would say, across traditional separate organizational functions, which we talked about. Now, at this point, financial teams need to gain access in terms of real-time operational metrics, while engineering teams understand what their business impact is. We also need to look into cultural transformation, like success demands cultural shift, something we need to look into from an intuition-based perspective out there. This includes financial transparencies across, I would say, all functions, performance-based budget allocations, or it could be continuous ROI optimizations out there. We also need to look into capability development out there, especially organization must invest into, I would say, analytical capabilities, and also collaboration benefits where people alignment breaks down financial silos. And again, that would lead to, I would say, interdepartmental communication and impacting overheads close to about 30 to 50% out there. So people alignment must be supported by integrated projects and platform, which we'll talk about in the next slide. Thank you. Now, here is something where we're talking about the intelligent financial operations, where we need to look into from a perspective of how we will engage and optimize our revenue, our costs, and our investments. What we are out here looking into is that when we are in a model where we have to work across through revenue optimization, specifically when we are looking at dynamic pricing models. So it is market based, it is geographical based, or it is global. Those pricing models need to be real time and need to be effective. That how we can utilize the dice model out there, and how we can have more predictive pricing models created out there. We need to focus on customer lifetime value, specifically now that telcos have to look into overall net promoter score, that okay, how I'm giving best value to my customer. It's not about the MSRP, it's about the value with respect to products that they're having. We need to look into from churn predictive analytics, that hey, can my dice model provide me insights in terms of which customers with respect to price points are at the blink of potential churn, That will help me into the next segment, which is cost management. That okay, how should I manage my overall cost with respect to product and services, because supply chains are stretched. So we need to understand from an expense tracking perspective. We need to think from a predictive maintenance, because as we move from one technology to another technology, so let's say adoption of DOCSIS 4.0, hey, with my current modems, routers will support that. Again, it will put up a financial strain out there. So we need to look into from that supply chain expense perspective also. Then the last part is about vendor performance analytics, because our call centers are engaged. Do we have an opportunity out there to bring in agentic AI, something which industry is looking forward to? And all that requires decisioning planning, which is AI driven ROI forecasting, where my costs are, where my revenue will be, and how I can adjust my risk with respect to my portfolio, which is driven by, as I something which you talked about in the previous slides, with respect to different market challenges out there. Next slide, please. Q. Out here, we are talking about in terms of the overall summary of or the crux of the overall slide, in terms of one, how traditional financial processes are costing telecom companies, as something which you mentioned, about 5 to 15% in revenue losses. Intelligent finance delivery is aligning people, projects, and platform for transformation. Something which the foundation which I shared was the DICE framework, which helps deliver more closed or closed decision accuracy with real-time project insights. What actions we need to do is basically we need to assess our current financial delivery process across the three pillars. We need to identify cross-functional teams that could benefit from integrated financial visibility. And we need to also consider how AI-driven financial forecasting will be helping. I would say I would leave it with the question remains is that whether telecom finance will become intelligent. It's whether your organization will lead it or follow the transformation out there. Thank you.
Very well, Hemant. Thank you for the lovely insights. I think you touched really an important aspect there, how intelligent finance delivery is empowering the telecom transformations. And with your framework such as DICE, I think it's playing a key part there. So thank you for the lovely insights. Now we move on to the next speaker, which is Pavitra.
Sure.
Pavitra, over to you. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thanks, everyone, for these wonderful speeches that you have given, the previous speakers. So I'm, again, delighted to be here to share this topic of interest for everyone who is involved in this transformational leadership in the space of intelligent finance delivery. The big question we always try to figure out is that how we redefine project success in today's AI-driven landscape, right? We are in the age of fourth industrial revolution. We are surrounded by technology. We are surrounded by code. So delivering code is no more the key theme of success. So in this space and in this time, there is something more that we have to identify to define project success. So I am going to introduce a framework that I have been working on and trying to define. That is the framework of 4P framework. So Rahul, if you can go to the next slide, I'll talk a little more detail on that. So project success is defined by 4 pillars. As you can see, the previous speakers has already talked about the major part of it. The 4 pillars is the people, the product, the process, and the purpose. And in all these 4 pillars, you see one component that is served by each pillar. People means the who part of it, who will use it, who will develop it. I mean, it's something like this. It is for the people, by the people, and of the people. Someone talked about data. Whose data? Particularly in finance, right? It is the data of the people, the PII information, the metadata, all those levels, right? So the source is the people. The process defines how we are developing, how we are rolling out the solution, and how we are making people use it, adoption part of it, right? And product is the technology, the system that we deliver, and purpose is the why we are building what we are building. If we don't define the purpose from the beginning and realign our people with the purpose continuously, that's where we see, even after the technology delivery is successful, the old adage that is called on time with quality within budget. Anyone who has spent time more than 10 years in the industry might have seen that even after the project is delivered on time with quality within budget, it is not successful when we talk about realization. So that's where this 4-pillar framework helps us. So let's go to the next slide, Rahul, and let's see. Okay. So traditionally, how we define project success. So traditionally, we have learned to define project success based on triple constraint, right? On time, with quality, within budget. That's where we learned in this industry. I have quoted a research data from Standish Group, and you may see this similar analysis. Only 70%, right? Only 31% of the software projects are successful, which means 70% are not seeing the value in terms of the end user success, right? So what we need to do to redefine success, and what are those elements of to define success, that's the purpose of my rest of the conversation, right? The modern reality is that, right, in the changing time, unless we define the value delivery, unless we focus on adoption after the go live, that's where the success pivots, right? That's the theme of what I'm going to talk about in upcoming slides. So Rahul, if you may go to the next slide. I want to give you a bit of historical journey of how in the industry we are seeing success, right? Before 1960s, when the industry was kind of shaping up, right, digital industry, we learned to define success in a binary concept, right? Either it got delivered or it did not get delivered. Either it worked or it did not work technically, right? After 1960s, when the triple constraint was found out and the concept of on time with quality and within budget was defined, people started defining success every project around those 3 parameters. In 1999, a paper was published that challenged that the triple constraint ideology of project success, and then that's where people started thinking of how success can be redefined. And around 2001, the idea of agile concept came up, right? The continuous feedback, customer engagement, team engagement, and then customer centricity and value delivery, right? So, and that has evolved now in as we are marching in this the agile age, also the 4th industrial revolution. So it has expanded more and more and leading towards adoption. So we have to start project looking at the end in mind. So if our project is, if we don't train our people, or we don't engage our people who are going to use the product from the initial stage, that's where the project might fail, right? And that's what I'm going to talk a little more detail in upcoming slides. So Rahul, if you might like to go to the next slide. Okay, so in this slide, I just want to refocus on this core theme that the earlier speakers also continued to stress upon, the AI and automation space that we are now going through. AI has enabled us, all the technology leaders, to focus more on strategy, because both AI and automation has automated a lot of the manual work that we have been focusing on or in the ages so far has been taken away by automation. So we can focus more on the strategic elements, which I call as a SIST. So focus on your stakeholders, focus on innovation, sustainable outcome, and the team well-being. And team, as a part of the people pillar, is very important element in this whole journey. So we'll talk more about this. Rahul, you can go to the next slide. Okay. I think the text is very small even for me. So there are a few questions. When we define project success, we start, that's fine, Rahul, that's fine. So when we define project success, we need to ask a few questions to identify what success means for us. So the first question we should ask, what is the value that we are going to deliver out of the initiative? I work in a data space. We do a lot of initiatives around data governance, right? And then when we define the project scope, we need to identify, for example, we need to identify what would be the end user perspective and how the end users will be benefited out of that project. So that is the user value. The next question that we need to ask is that what is the long-term business value? What is the strategic alignment of that project with the business? The third question we should ask is, what is the team health? How is the team environment? Is the team motivated? How is the project work impacting the team model? Because even after the project is successfully delivered, if the team morale is not great, we won't be able to retain the good talents to execute subsequent projects. Then sustainability is the solution. Can the solution handle growth, change, ethical scrutiny, right? And then whoever works in the finance industry, we know the importance of compliance, right? So is it secure by design? Can we grow without breaking the compliance guidelines? So these are the questions I feel that are important when we define project success in the intelligent finance delivery space. If you may go to the next slide, please. Yeah. So based on these questions, right, we have to define certain dimensions of modern project success. And I have tried to show this multi-dimensional view to define success. First one is the traditional metrics, right? Your cost, time, and quality. So that always stays, that's the foundation. The next is the stakeholder satisfaction. Now, stakeholder includes your end users, your sponsors, your customers. The third dimension is the strategic ROI, right? We are selling not just systems, we are delivering capabilities, right? And are we creating an environment where we are continuing to enhance our capability? The fourth dimension is the team model, because that leads to retaining our key talents, and then which will continue to help us sustainable growth. The fifth dimension is the reputation that we build in a banking industry, the finance industry. Trust and reputation and brand value is very key, right? So whatever we do, we should do it in a way that we build reputation, right? So anyone who is in the risk side of the finance industry, we know that anything that we do, if it has an impact on the reputational risk, that's a very key thing that we need to pay attention to, right? And then sustainability and ethics, that's an important element. If we lose trust of our customers, it's very difficult to regain, right? And learning and development, so we have to have a framework of retaining our learning so that in the next project, next initiative, we become more efficient, because efficiency is the name of the game in today's competitive age. Rahul, if you may go to the next slide, please. Okay, now as I have been trying to kind of draw the attention to the theme, is that technology delivery is just half of the story. We have to start thinking in terms of what is the purpose, what is the adoption strategy, are we able to build a picture and taking everyone along with that picture, and so that everyone is in tandem, be it the users, be it the team, be it stakeholders. So that's the visualization that we have to build. And what is the execution plan? And when we talk about execution plan, we should not think only limited to technology execution. We should also think about training plan, team user onboarding plan, right? So this complete execution process. And the fourth element is everyone needs to play a part in the success. So everyone roles has to be defined to drive us to the success. Next slide, please. Okay, so this slide talks about the critical success factors. The success factors are defined by different project teams in different ways. These few elements I have identified from my research based on almost 20 plus project management research papers. And it has identified the success parameters all across all those different pillars. I'll not go through the details of it, but I would say that every project may identify what matters most for them, and then pick up at least three of those elements from this checklist, and then include in their success factor list for the project. Next slide, please, Rahul. Okay, so in this slide, I position this 4P framework in a pyramid or layered view, where purpose is the foundation of my project. We should define the purpose with the end goal in perspective. Starting from the team member to the end users should be aligned with the purpose. At times, I have seen that project teams develop a solution very focused on the technology solution, but they are unaware of the end user value that will be brought by the solution, right? And that gap is not helpful in terms of bringing end user adoption. Platform and process are enablers, which enable the people part of it, the end users who are going to use that platform. So Rahul, can you go to the next slide, please?
Yeah.
Okay. So the idea is that we have to take a human-centric approach in every project that we deliver. Technology is definitely the enabler in today's age. Purpose drives the foundation, and process and platform is the enabler. And the key beneficiary of everything we do in the finance industry is the people. People trust us with their data. People trust us with their most valuable thing, which is their money. So our focus has to be primarily on people. The source of our data that we try to use for creating our decisions is coming from the data. So people are trusting us not only with their money, with their data. So everything that we do has to be people focused, and every other elements of this process should support that that perspective of the project execution. That's all I wanted to share, and appreciate this opportunity, and it's very nice to hear previous speakers speeches. Thank you.
Thank you, Pavitra, for the lovely insights. I think you clearly touch base one of the most important factors, which is people. The 4P framework that you represent, I think that really touches to what the previous experts have already talked about. If I look at and actually, I think that brings us to the last slide of our presentation today. And I actually want to open a stage now for us to talk through some of the key important aspects that we have touched, all of us today. I think with Gaurav, his expertise, where data lies in expertise, I think he's touched based on how his framework and how his products such as talentlens.ai is playing a key part in identifying the key resources that are crucial for any transformation. With Hemant, I think he touched on the DICE framework that is really crucial in terms of how telecom industry is thriving to the transformation journeys basically. And with your 4V framework, I think it's very important how it's important the people play a key part in any transformation project, whether it's financial transformation or a telecom transformation. Now I open the floor, I think, to the experts here. Gaurav, Pavitra, and Hemant, I think, do you have any questions, any insights to talk about? Any more questions?
No, it's great. I just want to, if you don't mind, I want to start with.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I was listening to Gaurav and Hemant's speeches very attentively, and Gaurav mentioned he was very enthusiastic about the data part of it, right? And at that point, it's very true, right? We continuously think about data. I am in the data space, right? So the data is the very, very valuable aspect of it. And then I was thinking, what is the source of this data in the finance industry? The source of the data in the finance industry is the people, right? So that's what I'm trying to draw that connect. But this is awesome. I appreciate all the aspects that Gaurav and Hemant has shared.
Thank you. And if I can inject, because right at that point, one thing you mentioned, money and data, and both comes from people. So there's another thought. It just came to my mind now. Money and data comes from people, right? For a intelligent finance delivery, those are required. we cannot think of any, you tell me guys, any finance intelligence or non-intelligence finance delivery without these two factors, money and people and data. Now, people are getting involved here in making the financial delivery and making the solution for this financial delivery. So as Rahul, you have organized this session and so many people are gonna watching now or later. Those are the people who are actually going to help in their field for an intelligent finance delivery. So
Absolutely.
people are everywhere. So they can be the part of the process. They can be the part of the solution as well. Very nicely
Indeed.
dots connect.
Absolutely. Very nicely put. Hemant.
Oh, I just want to say, add on to what two great experts have said, is that people and process, yes, both of them are important, and especially in my industry, from when we come to telecom perspective, people are important because we are working for them, providing them services, and eventually all that data gets generated from them, and revenue is important for us across the globe. The revenue is stretched for every, whether we talk about Southeast Asia, North America, or Europe. Every telecom industry is facing different kind of challenges out there, and these all these financial challenges can be resolved taking or incorporating different models, whether it is my dice model or uh, the platform that Gaurav shared, or the formula, I would say, from a people process perspective with Pavitra shared. So I think this it's a great platform where we have kind of outlined the challenges which industry is facing, and also giving them a solution as we become as experts in this industry, that how they can solve it.
Absolutely. Nicely put. Now, I thank you all. I think very well said, all of you. I think great insights. And I'm very actually pleased to say that, all your expertise, I think what Gaurav shared, what Pavitra mentioned, and your framework, Hemant, DICE framework, I think it all connects to each other. So, again, thank you all for joining today's session. And I think that was a lovely session today. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.
Thank you.